end of June to only my list, and I was, promoting it to them through a number of emails over the next, couple months, but just to my own list, I was completely broken even on my entire production costs in 45 days after releasing the book. Mainly because of this ebook strategy, because instead of a $20 sale, I was getting $45 sales, and that extra profit was pure profit because there's no inventory, there's no shipping other than the time it took me to create the product to begin with. There's no additional cost. So it can be a very popular strategy. So, and I would encourage people to go visit my website and see, whether or not they're going to buy the book, see how I'm doing that. See the products that I'm offering free for buying the book off my site. See the products I'm offering in addition, because you can kind of take a closer look at them. Well, I suppose I would say, and I guess I touched on it earlier, again, it's a lot of work, but again, I want people to understand that, and I've been told this, and again, I'm not trying to brag, but I've been told that my book is a really good game plan. So people can say, if you can shut out those voices that say, you're not a marketer, you're not a salesperson, how do you think you're going to do this? And just simply go step by step and say, okay, first I do this, and first I do this, and this is how I build a book. These are the process I have to go through. And then when it comes to the marketing of that book, this is the process I go through. So again, realize that it's a very doable process. It's a lot of work, and yes, it takes some money. And if you have absolutely no money, then self-publishing, as I do it anyway, is probably not going to appeal to you. But understand that the process is very, very doable if you consider it a process and not a result of your dazzling, marketing personality. So. I sort of had an epiphany recently, and I wrote an article about this, which I'd be happy to, if anyone wants to see it, just have them email me at writer.com. I'll be happy to send it to them. It was called the number one greatest book marketing strategy of all, which sounds very hypey, and yeah, that's right. It was kind of like, are you ready? Are you on the edge of your seat? But it really, it really was true, and that is. And I came to this by a sequence of events. One, I saw a review on Amazon, and this woman said, about the Well-Fed Self-Publisher, and she said, wonderful book, and blah, 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 and I do seminars, and it's gone to the top of my list of recommended books. Okay, that's great. And then I remember a couple days later, I was having an email exchange with someone, and she made the offhand comment, you should be paying me a commission because I'm out there selling you and your books all the time. And then the third thing was this guy who contacted me and said, I'm really enjoying the Well-Fed Self-Publisher. I bought about 6 books on self-publishing, but yours was the best, which is why I'm contacting you for consulting. And he ended up hiring me to do his book title and subtitle and back cover copy for his book, which is called Blog Blazers. You can check it out on Amazon, and you can kind of see what I came up with. I came up with Blog Blazers. And so the epiphany that I had was, if the number one marketing strategy, most effective marketing strategy and powerful marketing strategy for self-publishers is to write a really good book. Now people are really rolling their eyes going, here I was like pen poised, waiting to write down something really brilliant and pithy, and that's all you can say is just write a really good book. Well, it's one of those things that you really want to think about. You really want to sit with that for a second and think about the ramifications of that, because if you write a really good book, and by that I mean, we all have our idea of what a really good book is, but especially in the how-to realm, one that's very topical, very relevant, that's very detailed, that very real world, that gives them real world information. not theoretical information, and spells out things in exhaustive detail, and perhaps does it in a fun, lighthearted way that makes learning, easy and enjoyable. And it's packaged well, produced well. You do something like this, and you will recruit an army of salespeople, unofficial salespeople, who will be singing your praises to the rooftops, and you don't even know about it. And so I say your goal should be to make your book better than it has to be, because that will make your marketing job so much easier, it'll blow your mind. I think about people, and I see it all the time, people who have written books that just aren't that good. That aren't just, there's other books that are better on the subject, or they're not well produced, or their tone is boring, or they're too theoretical, or whatever. And I see them struggling with trying to pump them up, to respectability, and trying to pump up the promotion. And you think about it, a book that isn't that good just isn't going to get that word of mouth. And so they have to keep doing this over and over and over again. Whereas a book like mine, it's like, you go to a great restaurant, you go to a great movie, you go to a great vacation spot. What are you going to do? You're going to tell your friends. You're going to say, wow, I had the best meal last night. Really? Oh, where was it? Same thing with a book. And so I think that is so important, and it will just make your life. Talk about, people who don't think they have the marketing chops. Can you write a good book? Can you do everything in your power to write a good book? And that's the key, is that you have 100% total, absolute control over that particular outcome.